You can also use this to capture multiple different inputs for different variables. Let's clear this. Let's take in an int. We'll call this num. Let's take in a char, and we'll call this my char. And we'll say printf, enter a number and a symbol. We'll write example 55 hashtag. And then we're going to do scanf, and we're going to look for a %d space %c. So we could grab two different characters now. So here we're going to take in our num, and then we're going to take in my char. And then at the bottom, let's print out what we got for both of these. My num %d, and then we're going to print out num. And here, printf my char %c, my char. Let's do Control F5. We got an error somewhere. What's our error? Yes. So we didn't add the address for either of these variables here. That's what's going to give us the error. So let's do ampersand, ampersand, and that'll clear up our errors. Just remember, we always got to add the address here, not the actual value of the variable. And this gets the address of both our variables. Now let's do Control F5. So we're going to add a number first. We'll do 55 space hashtag. Let's do enter. And we didn't add a new line. Let's fix that. My bad. New line here. Let's run it one more time. 55 space %sign. So my number, my char. We can now get the value for two different variables here. Another cool example is we could grab multiple numbers instead. Let's do that. Let's clear this out again. Let's grab a bunch of float point variables. So let's do float f1, float f2, float f3. Here let's write printf, add 3 decimal numbers. Here let's write scanf, and here we're going to get %f space %f space %f. So we're going to separate all the numbers by spaces. And then what you could do is write comma ampersand f1, ampersand f2, ampersand f3. And then let's down here, let's write printf. We'll say float1 is equal to %f, new line. Then we'll write f1. Then we'll just copy this line and print it out twice. Float2, float3, float2, float3. Save it, Control F5. So let's add 3 decimal numbers. So we'll do 0.99, 3.14, and then 5.123. As you can see, we get the 3 different values. So let's say we want to get 3 decimal numbers with something in between. So we'll say with a dash in between. We can now update this to say grab the floating points, but the float ends when there's a dash in between it. So let's do Control F5. Let's do 0.1 dash 33.56 dash 100.3456. Enter. As you can see, it'll grab all the decimal points with the dashes in between. Again, this example is to show you that you can grab any input from the user in any format in any way. You just got to make sure that you define it correctly and you have the correct variables waiting to accept it from the console.